A little bit might be too that I did take a recruiting visit to Nebraska. I never got offered, so there might be a little bitterness in our relationship with that.
They didn't
but it worked
offer you?
out. Did not. But that's okay.
Because you were an athlete, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I wasn't a high
You were Robert
recruited guy.
Gallery that came to be Robert Gallery.
No.
All-American, all that stuff. Like who was the head coach at the time in Nebraska?
That's a good question.
That was back.
I don't even remember. Don't remember that trip. So I
This
guess
is
it wasn't that great.
This is early 2000s, 99?
99.
99 was when you were a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Because you look our age, which is really upsetting for me. And so you're from Iowa. You go to Iowa. Was it ever? How many offers did you have?
I think like 4. Purdue, Northwestern, Iowa State, and Iowa had 4.
And Iowa's clearly like you wanted to go to Iowa.
I did. My older brother played there. He was an All Big Ten punter there from '93 to '96. So I was hanging around the university. I was hanging around the program. All the guys that were there, the Tim Dwights, the Jared DeVrieses. So I'm in the dorms as a junior high kid, hanging out with these guys. So in my mind, it was like, this is where I want to go because I knew the culture and I knew all the guys. It's cool to be recruited and go check out the other places. But at the end of the day, I knew I was going to Iowa.
Yeah. And it didn't matter what other school offered you. If it was like an Alabama, SEC school, Michigan.
But I was an athlete, right? I played basketball. I was a second state in the high jump. I ran the 4x1, but I wasn't
bunnies, 4x1?
Yeah.
This is fucking out of control.
Yeah. So we were,
How high were you jumping?
I still have the school record at 6'5". Yeah. But, I mean, I had some hops now.
Dude, that is nuts.
Yeah, so I was an athlete, right? So you didn't turn on my VHS tape that I sent to all these schools and see like this killer football player. You saw an athlete that could run. My high school, we didn't throw the ball either. So they showed me blocking, that's for sure, because we would go entire games and not throw the ball. But I wasn't Michigan wouldn't have sniffed me. I sent them a VHS tape, no return call.
Really? And what were you weighing when you got to Iowa?
I showed up about 230 pounds soaking wet. Okay.
Yeah. So you had a redshirt year on the horizon, no problem for you.
For sure. It was my senior year of high school. I was right at 210 and they told me when I showed up, like, you need to put some pounds on. So before we weighed in, I drank 2 gallons of water.
Hell yeah. Been on that program before.
So I was like 230 and just full of water.
Yeah.
But by Christmas, my first year, I think I was 275 or 280. I got on that lifting program and that eating program. They're like, when you wake up, you drink a protein shake in the middle of the night. And if you wake up again, you drink another one.
Dude.
But we had that Chris Doyle program. Chris Doyle was our strength coach. And we had his program of putting lean mass on and it worked.
Now, is Chris Doyle the strength coach? Was he there for a very long time with Kirk Ferentz? He was there for a while?
He was there for the first year when Kirk started. So 99 is when Kirk came, Chris Doyle came. That's when it all started, my first year. And Chris was there for 15 plus years, 18 years.
No shit.
Where was Dobson at the time? James Dobson. So that's a mutual connection that we have.
That's how this whole thing got connected, correct?
Yeah. Dob hit me up and was talking to me about Robert Gallery. And knowing that Dobson, he started at Iowa before he came and was our head strength coach at Nebraska. So you knew about all the Doyle programming. I'm sure we were doing a lot of the stuff in Nebraska that you guys were getting into and doing because Doyle was like ahead of his time in the strength training program. But yeah, Dobson, because he had to have been young.
Yeah, he was assistant 99. He came with Doyle and he was there my entire career till he moved on. Later on, he was there quite a few years. But yeah, James is the best. We've kept in contact over the years and yeah, he learned from the Doyle stuff and then put his own stuff into it. And yeah, he's just a great human being.
How was his like authority figure vibe that young as an assistant?
You look back on it and we were, obviously we were all a lot younger. You look back at pictures of Coach Ferentz in 1999. You're like, holy cow. But James was a young guy. We were all just trying, right? They were trying to put in their program and we were bad, right? 1999, we were 1-10, my redshirt year, right? So everyone's trying to bring in the toughness, but it was Coach Doyle and James like bringing in that, like, if you don't do it right, get out the door, right? And it was
it's a weed out the week type of mentality
for sure. And if you did stuff right, they loved you, right? Was it hard? For sure. But those guys like me, we fed on that. The Iowa guys, the people they brought in for that culture, that we fed on that stuff. And if they called you out, you're like, oh yeah, watch this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 3 California guys, they were like, I gotta go. I gotta get the hell out of here quickly.
Right.
So you're with Ferentz, you redshirt your first year. The next year you starting?
Started at tight end.
Really?
Yes.
True athlete.
Yes, I was.
So tight end you can potentially claim.
I can.
being a part of the group.
For a very small time. I think I had 3 catches, one of which was at Nebraska. We ended up losing that game, but I did have a catch in that game. So my first year, my redshirt freshman year, started at tight end, and then 4 games in, they came to me like, hey, we need to have a discussion. And then I moved to tackle, and the rest is history.
How'd you like playing for Coach Ferentz?
I loved it. He's the best. He is. I was just back. He's a guy I talk to regularly. He hasn't changed since 1999. He's just the most steady, genuine person you've ever met. Now you see him, right? He obviously was 27 years younger when we first started, but you see him now getting emotional. It's cool because I knew him 27 years ago when we were just trying to get a program turned around, right? He was coming in. He was a young new coach or newer coach, right? Head coach. And he's just a genuine human being. There's no rah-rah. It's everything he says is meaningful and to the point and just genuine. It's hard to say. I took my son back for training camp. You know, my son's in his office hanging out with him. There's no like, oh, Robert's here, we got to fake this and make him feel included. He's like, this place is your place and your son Lincoln's. So Lincoln's high-fiving him, knucking him, right? Running in and out of his office. He's just a genuine human being. And, you know, that's why he's had so much success.
And your son's name is Lincoln. Yeah. Very interesting. Lincoln, Nebraska. You didn't think about that?
It all comes back to Nebraska.
I did not think of that. I'm a car guy, so it's actually more after Lincoln Continental, the old 60s.
But now he won't be able to help but think about it now.
He might have to. Yeah,
it's messed up. Yeah.
Now from now on, you'll be like, Lincoln. I definitely should have named you Ford. Should have named you Ford.
Coach Ferentz was the first head coach I had to call and basically say that I wasn't coming to Iowa, and it was so painful. But he was incredible to me whenever I made that call. My parents were like, you have to call the schools like Iowa. I was very much like considering Iowa, and they recruited me hard. And I had a cool.
You said you were considering Iowa?
Yeah, I was considering Iowa because my brother was a year younger than me, and he was a very good wrestler growing up. He was a senior national champion coming out of high school. So when I would go on my recruiting trips, we would take a family road trip, and we'd hit Mizzou because Mizzou had a good wrestling program. We hit Nebraska because Nebraska had a good wrestling program. We had Iowa because Iowa was unbelievable at wrestling. So a majority of my decision, I wanted to go to a spot where I know my brother could go and wrestle too, so we could go to school together. So Iowa was very much in the conversation. I forget my recruiting coordinator, but I had a cool relationship with Coach Ferentz. Super awesome dude. It's cool hearing you talk about him because he did seem very genuine. Whether I got to sit and meet with him, talk to him on the phone. Doyle, kind of intimidating, bald dude, massive. Like they had the chains going on everywhere in the weight room. It just seemed like a spot where you go and get yoked.
Yeah, you get after it around there.
Yeah. Bubble, they just had a bubble. They didn't really have an indoor. I visited Iowa right after Nebraska. So the difference in facility was like you walk into the bubble and it was humid. Like, they didn't have like an indoor very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were behind the times with the facilities.
Behind the times. They're like, we're building a new weight room. Yeah. But I had a cool visit. I had a cool visit at Iowa.
Yeah, it's great. They're both, my first day of camp with the freshman, Coach Doyle was holding the bag, so it was just a freshman. Mm-hmm. And I'm a skinny tight end, scared shitless, right? I just want to come in and make it. And he was holding the bag, and I remember the first one I came off, my hand slid up off the bag, smacked him in the face, and I had shoulder problems in high school, and my shoulder came out of the socket. And I'm like, oh God, is this for me? So he's staring at me, right? And he was a massive man back then. He's staring at me. I just jacked him in the face, and I'm trying not to cry because my shoulder came out and just had to go back to the drills. And I'll never forget that day because he looked at me and just told me, keep your hands down. And I'm like, yes, sir. Because he was this massive, scary human being, but the greatest guy out there.
What is the dorm situation? What is it called? The 6-pack?
We didn't have that then.
Okay.
No, I don't know. We had the dorms.
Some could say Iowa was too gritty for me.
Some could say that.
Yeah.
The way you talk and how I've trained with you. Yeah, I could see that.
Didn't have all the shiny lights in Nebraska.
Didn't have all the pretty stuff.
That's all right.
Yeah, dude, is it maybe the most scared anybody can be in their entire life is your freshman year when you go from high school to college and it's your first workout with the entire team. Not the freshman workouts, but the first one. Like when I first got to Michigan, Rich Rodriguez was the head coach. We had Mike Barwis, who was just like world-renowned head coach. And we did like this Tabata type of workout where it's like 3 sets of 12 squat, 3 sets of 12 hand clean, like very high reps, high volume, and also high weight. And then we do like hypertrophy jumping. And by the time we got to that hypertrophy jumping, I was like hitting like a full body cramp, like dying. And after that, everyone started jogging out to the field to go do our sprints and our running after that. So it was like just a hell of a day on a Monday. Mike Barwas walks up and he's got this like super raspy, like he swallowed glass voice. And he goes, "Welcome to Michigan. How do you like my dick in your mouth?" And then walks away. And I'm thinking, I got to get the fuck out of here. There is no way I'm going to make it.
Mom, this is not for me, Mom.
Dude,
Mom.
it is terrible. And then you had to go shower for the first time, and then in front of all the boys, and you're like, do I wear underwear? Do I not wear underwear? Like it's a mental warfare.
Oh, it is. And
Your
when you
first
go,
year.
when you go in, like I think we did, like we were not grown men, right? Skinny, you know, and you walk in and Colin Cole, he came from Florida. He was a grown man when he showed up as a freshman. And I'm like, I gotta play against this guy. I mean, 320-pound yoked dude from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Dude, it is. Yeah, we had Brandon.
It is a mind fuck, dude. You walk in there, you're not developed whatsoever compared to the grown men that are in college. You're skinny, you got a little pecker, you're walking the shower, just fear.
Who's going to look? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You accidentally look at another guy, he's black. It's way different than yours.
We got
And
good,
you're like,
good story, cold tub story, but we had Khalil Hill. Yep, he came and just stood at the top of the cold tub and said, "I'm going to get here and see what it's like to be all you white boys." We were just standing at the top of the cold tub.
He was in the helicopter?
Hitting the helicopter.
Oh my
And
God.
I remember thinking, oh my Lord, what is this?
You're like, I'm going to keep my shorts and spandex and everything on.
Yeah. Terrifying.